With the Universal Monsters set of portraits, I picked out the monsters I thought of as being the most famous, the most impactful iteration of these characters. So there was Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Mummy, Wolfman, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, and the creature from Black Lagoon. The Universal Monsters are kind of just another set of icons to me. It's not about being a fan of horror particularly. It's about just loving their general graphic representation. I've got, frankly, a lot of toys of those versions of the characters. I remember these Remco dolls that came out when I was a kid that glow in the dark. So I've always loved these versions, these characters. I read about them in books long before I saw them in movies. They were just, one of those go-to things of the pop culture of my youth. They were super popular back in the 60s before I was born, where they were repeated on television, and then I was catching the later wave of reshowing these movies, and so I just grew up with these are the monsters of all monsters, more important, more famous than anything else that was created after. Approaching these monster characters intellectually is not such a different thing than the superheroes, except there's not really going to be an interpretation where I might bring to superheroes that are normally identified as drawings first. These are identified not by their historical origination in books, but in fact specifically because of these screen adaptations, because of those actors and the way they looked in portraying those roles. So it's important to adapt Lugosi and Karloff and Chaney, getting those faces exactly right as best I can, because what I want to connect with is the pop culture identification of these interpretations, and also maybe connect another generation with them again. Anybody looking at my work, I want them to know this is the core version of this thing.